They knew day one it was asbestos, mercury, everything several feet deep on the ground from the World Trade Center's collapse. And they said, don't wear respirators, there's no problem. Core exit in the Gulf. They're saying it doesn't matter if the average age is 51 to die from the Exxon Valdez cleanup with the same stuff. I mean, it's this policy of they enjoy killing troops and first responders. They're setting the precedent. And the New York Post called the dead and dying medical people and police and firemen ambulance chasers for trying to get medical treatment for the asbestos. I mean, doctor, I've got all the Rockefeller Foundation documents. We've covered it, where they say they want to reduce our population.
Well, let's come to the World Trade Center. Those police and fire that went in there and died, that are sick today, those are my friends. They were my students. One of my best friends led the entire rescue, Willie Rodriguez. That's reality. And those guys call. I've got one of the police officers, senior command officials. He's very sick and having all the same medical problems. And we talk, and he tries to get medical care, and we work on everything we can. But they have just thrown those guys away because it's all the toxic materials, all the byproducts of the explosives, all the byproducts of the uranium munitions that were used. I mean, I want to say that again. The uranium munitions were used, especially in the South Tower. I mean, we know that happened. You can see on the video and the photographs and do the measurements.
Well, that's right. I've actually seen major British reports where they did radiation readings, and they were off the charts. And how was there 2,500 degrees a month and a half after from the thermal photographs of the site?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing's a nightmare, so it's a medical nightmare all the way around.
Well, let me ask you this. You're saying they blew it up using some type of DU weapon, and there's a lot of evidence that shows that. If tens of thousands of troops conservatively have died from DU exposure... Well,
we're looking at... You actually look... When we go to the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, Griffiths report, that's the Gulf War Veterans Information System reports, all anybody has to do is go to www.va.gov, then in the VA search engine, you type in GWVIS. That's Gulf War Veterans Information System, but the acronym is GWVIS. Pull it up and read it. It tells you point blank, these are the number of troops that participated, were on duty. These are the number that are currently left alive. These are the hundreds and hundreds of thousands that have now applied for permanent disability with the Department of Veteran Affairs because of medical problems, but yet we've denied care to tens and tens of thousands.
And I've read that their life expectancy is way down, so how many people roughly have died from the DU?
God only knows. I mean, thousands upon thousands upon thousands, civilians and military. I mean, when we see all these military, because you have to remember, with the military, you've got complex exposures, not just have DU. You've got the immunizations, you've got the hazard materials, you've got all of the stuff that's gone in there. And the pesticides. Totally.
I understand, but here's my question, because we're almost out of time. And will you come back soon?
I'll come back any day, anytime you ask me.
Maybe we should do 2 hours so I can really let you roll with your incredible knowledge, and then take an hour of calls. So when we let you go here in a moment, we'll put you on hold, Doctor, because the show's about to end this hour, and I'm going to cover some financial news because so much is happening right now in the markets. But this issue, what I'm saying is this. If they don't care about the troops dying from radiation exposure, if they don't care about the TSA employees running these naked body scanners, why wouldn't the Pentagon stage a 9/11 to kill 3,000 people, to make trillions of dollars in no-bid contracts and launch their war and set up a domestic police state, A? And B, what is your view of 9/11?
Well, the first thing, talk to the individuals who were absolutely in there, okay? And when I talk to the people who were there, we know that the aircraft, there was no aircraft to hit the Pentagon. That you can confirm with video photographs, and the people were there, my friends who were there. And you talk to the police and the fire in the World Trade Center. Get their direct opinion. Get them on the radio and talk to them. Find out exactly what happened by the people that were there. And then it scares the bejesus out of you. But the whole key thing with DU, and we got to leave this because I know you're running out of time. Every soldier, every parent, everybody has to pull up the U.S. Army Regulations 700-48. They have to pull up the depleted uranium common task training. They could have to pull up the pamphlets and the technical bulletin and read the information for themselves. Find out what's happening. Pull up the Wakayama depleted uranium briefing. And you can go to grassrootspeace.org and go to Beyond Treason websites, and you can pull them up and read them. Make sure you have it. And then if you're the military, ask your commander, why aren't you giving me the mandatory training? Why aren't you telling me this? Why aren't you giving me the mandatory medical care? Because they don't care.
Well, Doc, if your calendar is good, we're going to have you on for 2 hours. We'll do an hour of overdrive, 1 to 3 Central on Monday, October the 11th. How's that sound?
Hey, we can do that.
And just God bless you for your work and your strength and all you've gone through and your courage. I know a lot of military families, a lot of people thinking about joining the military, a lot of currently serving military are going to watch this video, hear this podcast, and look into what you're saying, and they can search that Army regs. They can look at it for themselves, because I have troops that email me and go, they tell us DU's not even a problem. And I've had military families who get mad at me, people I know, and have called me a liar to my face saying, my son, you know, fires these munitions, and you're a liar, the government wouldn't do that. And you just don't even know what to say to them, Doc. I mean, they're just so foolish.
Well, you know, they're so foolish, but then the problem is when they're in a crisis mode, my phone rings 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And I don't sleep at night, or I get woken up, or we have to respond, or we have to get medical coordinator, we have to get a pastor deployed, or we have to get the police deployed. I mean, you can't keep doing it. And I can't keep doing it because of the total disregard of our leaders for the health and safety of our military.
Well, people are just so gullible, because if they admit the government knows DU's killing the troops, and then they have to admit that we literally have nothing less than Satan running our country. I mean, if they have to admit that to themselves, their whole fake world is over. And as you said on record, the Army knows this. They know full well what they're doing, and they just actually enjoy what's happening to the troops. I mean, it's not just they don't care.
You know, and you get right to it. What my pastor has said, and my brigade chaplain for the military said, two individuals, people won't acknowledge it because the foundation of everything they believed and what they trusted literally collapses. And then their life goes and shatters. Well, try living it 365 days a year for 40 years. I'm going back to my Agent Orange days and realize what is happening and try to get it done for myself. And I had to put this stuff together, but get it done for these kids that don't know, and they don't have access. They don't know who to call. They don't know how to get help.
Dr. Rokke, we'll see you on Monday, the 11th of October. So we'll see you in about 12 days or so. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Dr. Doug Rokke. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the people running our country, they always give the troops soft kill to knock you out, to decommission you, and you better grow up. They're now trying to talk about police departments using DU. I mean, it is just hell on earth. Face the facts, learn the truth. This DU issue could open up reality to so many people because it's 100% admitted.